Hi, I'm Kent Mayor Dana Ralph, and I am here today to read the story, Santa is Coming to Kent. Pretty excited about this holiday season. All right, let's start. Well, boomed Santa, have all the children from Kent been good this year? Well, mostly, answered the little old elf as he bustled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf from behind the tall, teetering piles of letters that all the children of Kent had sent him. Mostly? Asked Santa, looking over the top of his glasses. Yes, but they've all been especially good in the last few days, said the elf. Jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we'd better get the presents loaded up. Even though the sack of presents was really, really big and the elves were really, really small, they seemed to have no trouble loading it into Santa's sleigh. Though how they managed to fit such a big sack onto a little sleigh, even they didn't know. But somehow they did. Splendid, boomed Santa. We're ready to go. Not quite, Santa, said the little old elf. One of the reindeer is missing. Missing? Which reindeer? Said Santa. The youngest one, Santa, said the elf. It's his first flight tonight. I've called him, but just then a young reindeer strolled up, munching a large carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. But the youngest reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the little old elf calling. Oh, well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He took out his Santa nav and tapped in the coordinates for Kent. This will guide us to Kent in no time. The little reindeer was still crunching. With a flick of the reins and a jerk of the harness, off they went, racing through the sky. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. We'll soon have these presents delivered to the Evergreen State. Santa's sleigh flew through the starry night, heading across the Arctic Ocean. On they flew in the crisp, wintry air. In a wink of the eye, the sleigh flew over Seattle and onto Wenatchee, over the forests. The youngest reindeer was very excited. He had never been this far away from the North Pole. They had just crossed over Lake Washington when suddenly they ran into a blizzard. Snowflakes whirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned at all. In just 2 miles, said the Santa nav in a bossy lady's voice. Keep left at the next star. But ma'am, Santa blustered, I can't see any stars in all this snow. Soon, they were hopelessly lost. That's scary, Santa being lost in a blizzard. Then, through the howling blizzard, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. He looked over the old reindeer with the red nose, but he had his head down. Wonder who that could be with a red nose. Ding dong, ding dong. There was that sound again, like church bells ringing. The youngest reindeer turned around to look at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. He seemed to be arguing with a little box with buttons on it. With a flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off toward the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. Whoa, cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. What's going on? Then, to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. Well done, young reindeer, he shouted cheerfully. It must be the bells of St. James Cathedral in Seattle. Don't worry, children. Santa is coming. Then suddenly, crunch! The sleigh hit something and it plummeted through the snow clouds. You have arrived, said the Santa nav, unhelpfully. Finally, when the snow had died down and the clouds parted, Santa discovered exactly where they were. They were stuck right on the top of the Space Needle. Everybody pull! The reindeer pulled with all their might until at last, with a screeching sound, the sleigh scraped clear of the needle and Santa steered them safely over Husky Stadium, above South Center Mall, along the Green River, and down into the city of Kent. Luckily, there was no real damage done, but the packages had all been jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted out the presents in order again. All right, said Santa. Thanks to this young reindeer here, I know where we are now. Don't worry, kids. Santa is coming. It's a good thing that little reindeer showed up to help for sure. Santa drove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop all over Kent, popping in and out of chimneys as fast as he could go. There were big chimneys on the West Hill and small chimneys at Kent Station. He squeezed down thin chimneys on James Street and plummeted down fat chimneys on East Hill. The youngest reindeer was amazed at how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all, and it looked like the children in Kent were going to be very, very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer was starting to feel a bit weary and quite hungry too. Look at how sad he looks. In house after house, Santa delved inside his bag for packages of every shape and size. He piled them under Christmas trees and carefully filled stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of Kent had left a large plate of cookies, a small glass of milk, and a big, crunchy carrot. Santa took a little bite out of each cookie, a tiny sip of milk, wiped his beard, and popped the carrots into his sack. From Totem Middle School to Mill Creek Middle School, from KM to Kent Lake, from Panther Lake to Lake Meridian, and all the places in between, Santa and his sleigh visited every house in Kent. Santa delivered presents to Andrew, Allison, Anna, Arabella, Archie, Ashley. The list went on. Zach, Zara, Zeb, Zoe, and Zybel. Zybel. That must be a spelling mistake for sure. Finally, Santa had delivered the last present on his long Kent list. Great moons and stars, sighed Santa. It's past midnight and my sack seems as heavy as ever. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. Santa opened his sack to check, but it was full of juicy, crunchy carrots. Santa divided the carrots among all the reindeer. Well done, he said, patting his youngest reindeer gently on the nose. Look at that little reindeer eating that carrot. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. He was too busy munching. Then it was time to set off for home. Santa reset the Santa Nav for the North Pole, and soon they were speeding over Mount Rainier, past Port Townsend, over Friday Harbor, through the crisp, starry night. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. Merry Christmas, Kent. The end.